Yeah, this film has been called by New York Magazine informative. The Chicago Daily Herald called it dramatically compelling.
Yeah, I think the New York Times called it heartrending and inflammatory. Actually,
heartrending and inflammatory is a very nice. Fox News even said, not since Michael Moore is a documentary called such a stir, and Vanity Fair called it fascinating, artful, and compelling. The LA Times, eye-opening, frightening, and powerful. And the Washington Post, like a well-made thriller, gets under your skin. Salon, dizzying and dramatic, handsomely reported and photographed. So tell us about why it became handsomely photographed. What was your motivation, Andy?
well, that's a great question. And people don't usually ask that. They get so wrapped up in all the medical stuff. But basically, I'm a filmmaker. I'm not a physician, and my background is in filmmaking
and in still photography too, right?
And in still photography. I think it's important to me to show. I mean, this is some people call it a real life horror disease or horror film, a real life horror film, and to some extent that's true. But what I want to show is there's beauty right next to the horror. And within the beauty is the horror. So I needed to juxtapose those realities that nature is abundant and beautiful, but it also has its risks. And I wouldn't want people to go away just thinking that the natural world is a dangerous place. It's also a place of healing. And so I juxtapose that in the film with imagery of nature. And beautiful imagery of nature, and also some of the more, let's say, threatening aspects of it.
So was there a driving factor that said I'm going to do Lyme disease rather than fibromyalgia, rather than another disease that you decided to focus on? I mean, clearly no one understands this, and it's very underreported.
Yeah, I never sort of choose a topic. I mean, if anything, the topic chooses me, and it's because I was sort of shocked into the issue of Lyme disease. A friend of mine out here got very sick, and she was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, and then Lou Gehrig's disease, which is basically a death sentence.
Of course.
And then finally Lyme disease, and she started to get her health back. And you just wonder what would have happened to her if she just stuck with that Lou Gehrig's diagnosis. I don't know whether she'd be with us today.
How long did she have this and was misdiagnosed by a variety of different names until such point in time as they came up with
Right. I mean, it was a matter of years.
Years?
That she probably had it for a couple of years, and it had gone undiagnosed.
Wow.
But that's not unusual. I mean, people go to doctor after doctor and get diagnosis after diagnosis, and it's really mind-boggling how it's the same story hundredfold, if not thousandfold.
Have you had anybody that has this disease that has come up to you, got a hold of you and said, thank you for doing this?
That's another great question, because the answer is yes, and it happens time after time. I've had people who said, this film saved my life. It gave them a new road back to health. It gave them answers to illness that they'd been suffering for years and couldn't find answers for, or it helped someone in their family, or it helped people in their family understand what they've been going through, so it gave them voice. We get that time after time, and I say that's an important question, not just because I want an opportunity to gloat, but because
go ahead. Gloating is allowed here.
Well, that's why I made the film, and it's really I see it now as a sort of a matter of life and death. It's really this is if the film can save a life, how important is that? How many films can actually say that they've saved lives? So that's my mission here.
And the fact that people tell you that you have saved their life is must be an extraordinary feeling. As you mentioned, how many films are generally made to educate and entertain and inform.
Right.
Two of those three, one of those three, all three of those three. Clearly, you can add the category of educate and inform and save lives to Our Skin. Andy Abrams Wilson has been my guest. We wish you nothing but success on this film. I'm going to be seeing it tonight, as you know, and I'm delighted to report that it's going to be held over here. I will be giving a full report. I'll give a book report on this tomorrow, and I'll keep mentioning this throughout next week too, because I think that, as you point out, I know someone with Lyme disease that told me about this film and arranged for you to be on the show. So I very much appreciate the opportunity of talking to you, and thanks for saving people's lives.
Well, thank you. I thank you for the opportunity.
My pleasure. Andy Abrahams Wilson, producer, director, and cinematographer of Under Our Skin, currently showing at the Pacific Gaslamp Theater in downtown San Diego. 6:55 is tonight's show, where Kathy and I are going to be. You can also catch it at 9:30.
And just to let people know that our website is underourskin.com. There's all sorts of information about the film. There's also a trailer, and we do have a Facebook page as well. So if you go online, you'll get all sorts of information about other screenings, even outside of San Diego.
Underourskin.com. And also, it is available on DVD, is it not?
It will be available on DVD soon.
Okay, perfect. Thanks, Andy.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I'm John Elliott. This is America. My guest has been Andy Abrahams Wilson. The film is Under Our Skin. I'm going to be seeing it tonight with Kathy at the Pacific Gaslamp downtown at 6:55. Don't forget, it's going to be playing all week now. It's been extended to 3 weeks. Very unusual for a documentary. That is certainly testimony to the importance of the documentary and also the significance of the film that Andy has made. This is America. I'm John Elliott. We're taking a break. We're coming back. There is more.
Get your head together and speak your mind, because this is America with John Elliott.